This is Suspenders Unbuttoned, a podcast where friends talk with friends about TV, movies, and books. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Suspenders Unbuttoned podcast. I'm Julie.
And I'm Sarah.
And we're excited to have with us today our special guest, Ektor Rivera.
Hi.
Hey, how are you doing, guys? Good to see you.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We're super excited to talk about your new movie, Groundswell.
Yes, it was.
Thank you so much for the invitation, of course.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, don't worry. I'm excited to be with you guys. Like I said before, I heard wonderful things about you. So you have a fan base that I'm so glad that to present myself, because I know I'm a new face in this kind of environment. So yeah, I'm really glad to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you, and everybody was asking to have you, so we're thankful that you said yes. And your movie Groundswell with Lacey was just on this past weekend. It was on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How have you enjoyed hearing about, or what have you been hearing about everybody's response to the film?
Wow, it's incredible. You know, the Twitter, the fan base of Hallmark, the comments, because when we do stories, as an actor, as an artist, we just want the message to go, and the emotions that we try to bring to the audience to go through them, and that they can experience what we felt at the moment that we read the script or we act. So it's so nice to hear not only the comments about the beauty of the Hawaii, the scenery, but the most important things for us is the message that Katie Lee in her book tried to give to us, and with the movie now, as a Lee Friedlander, as a director, to trespass that emotion to the audience and to see those comments and people who talk about surfing or the food or Puerto Rico or it was so beautiful to see the response of this movie.
It was really fun to so welcome to the live tweeting a movie. Was that the first time you had ever done that?
No, I did it before with Sugar Plum Twist.
Yeah.
We did a Christmas movie, and it's fun to watch the movie. In this case, it was the first time that I actually saw the movie. So I was sometimes we have opportunity to see before, but I was working, so it was the first time with the audience that I was watching with them all the result of this. So I have an idea, obviously, because I wasn't there, but not the final result and the other scenes with my amazing co-star and actor. So it was really interesting.
Did you have like a big watch party for it?
No, I heard in Hawaii, one of the actors, Darren.
I saw that.
You saw that, right?
Yeah,
it was like a huge big party and everything. He invited me, but obviously I'm here with my daughter, and it's so difficult to go out now. So I was just watching the movie and with my family and have fun in my privacy.
Perfect.
Yeah. No, it was like, it's very fun to watch the movie and see everyone's response. It was fun to see his big party. But when you watch the movie, what did you like when you were watching the movie?
I like the edition process, because we did a lot of scenes. Some of the scenes, we have like 30 minutes longer than we usually have in a movie. So
right.
The director and the editor have like a hard job to cut 30 minutes of the movie. So we had scenes even in plazas, a dancing scene with Lacey that I had in a plaza that we are having fun, and they cut everything because it was so nice what we did over there, and so much material that I know they have had a hard time. But yeah, so that was an interesting thing to what is how they project certain things, in the movie, and see the colorful and see the drone scenes and everything that obviously we don't know how it looks.
Sorry, Julie, is there a scene that you really enjoyed filming and you wished made it into the film?
The water scenes, because we had it looks simple, but we basically one of the scenes in the same beach, the conversations in deep water about Groundswell and everything. We did that in 4 different beaches. So in this
Oh,
one, we did one part. In the other one, when she fell down and I'm rescuing her down deep water, it was in another beach. So to take all that, I was wondering how they will put all this together and looks like it's just one spot in Hawaii, and they did it brilliantly.
Okay, we loved all the conversations. So the side, they're a sit and talk essentially, but you did them on surfboards. Love that change of venue and that you were sitting on the surfboards. Were you actually in the ocean for those, or did they have you somewhere else?
No, we were actually in the ocean. So we have the unpredictable ocean that sometimes we have the wave, and it was fun, to try to keep the balance and keep calm and everything. And one scene that I know Lacey put a picture, that it was the moment that I tell her that how my wife had like an accident and everything.
Mhm.
And that was almost getting late, so the sea was going more into our feet. So every time that I kind of recording and everything, we'd receive like a splash of water, and then we had to redo it, and then to put in an emotional part. So it was so difficult to do it, but it was the final result is beautiful.
So you mentioned that that one scene was filmed in like 4 different spots. So what was the reasoning for moving or filming the different scenes in a different area, or the different parts of the scenes in a different area?
Because for example, when we have the conversations, we need like a place in the water that we don't need waves in that kind of situation, so we can have the conversation. But then when I tell Lacey, okay, now go and do your take your board and try to do it, then we need waves in that kind of particular, but not a deep ocean waves. We need like a certain waves that so we can do the initial movements. And then with the stunts in deep ocean, with one of the biggest waves and beaches that we have over there, then we have to go over there and go deep water and try to do the initial movement. So the stunt then took the hardest part. So yeah, it was basically strategically so we can have like a full rounded beautiful scene.
I love that all those pieces to put that one scene together. It's an amazing process to hear about. So I think we heard in a different podcast that you did not know how to surf before this.
No, I did not. And I live in Puerto Rico. I live in San Juan, in Santurce, that I see the ocean over there. Every single day I went to the beach to go, to swim and everything, but I never tried to surf. I skateboard. I did a lot of stuff when I was younger, but never tried. So actually the first time that I had like a board in my hand was in Hawaii, and in Waikiki, one of the the beaches over there. They teach me, and it was beautiful. It was magical because the first time, and as Lacey, I'm like kind of so proud because the first time that I took that board and I just followed the script. Okay, what is the advice that I'm giving Lacey? I will apply to myself, to Ektor, to do this. And then I apply it, I look forward, I stand still, and I did the whole first movement. Obviously, the board is a huge one, so it's easier. Right. But I did it until the end, and I understand how beautiful that sport is. So it was really, really fun.
So that's amazing because some people like never stand up on their surfboard when they're trying to learn. So yes, way to go.
I did it for the third time, and then the fourth I was so comfortable. Okay, now I'm a surfer now. I did it 3 times, and then I wiped out, so I understand the wipe out, and then I get a hit in my head with the board, so I understand what I'm telling Lacey. Okay, I think this is necessary for an actor, so I can experience that part too. So yeah, it was the first.
So
time.
You did it all. You stood up, you wiped out, you got hit in the head, the whole shebang.
In one afternoon. Everything.
I hope somebody get that on film for you.
But don't you think that like skateboarding background totally helped you to get up on your surfboard, that you have that like balance piece?
Yeah, that helps. The dancing probably as well, the balance, and the skateboard. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Have you ever like water?
the board was pretty big, so
Mm-hmm.
it's not the I did it to the movie. Then I tried the smallest one. It was harder, but
Mm.
they film what they need at the beginning process to to stand, and yeah, but it's not easy. It's not an easy sport, but when you do it, it's beautiful.
That's amazing. Had you ever ski or water skied before?
No, never.
Okay, because I just think all those things might be helpful.
Never. I want to do it. I want to do it.
Bucket list thing for me is to try surfboarding sometime. But I have like the skateboarding background, skiing background, but I've never been near a surfboard.
So you will probably have the balance of to
I'm old though, so we'll see.
I feel like you could do it, Julie. You're very, I don't know, you're riding your bike for miles and miles every day.
Yeah, that's the thing. But I think dancing though, for sure, because you learn all those moves. So for people who don't know, you have a really big musical theater background, including Broadway and London, and So do you have a lot of dance training with that too?
Yeah, I'm not considered like a professional dancer because
No.
I admire that, when people from the world, they're kids, but I definitely need to have the rhythm and to, if I follow a choreography, I will do it fine. So yeah, my beginnings basically was in Puerto Rico doing musical theater. I had the chance. I competed first in a singing competition over there, like this kind of idol thing and everything. I just want somebody to watch me too, when I was a kid. And so I try it. And then after that, I got my first gig in musical theater. That was Fame, the musical Fame.
Nice.
And then after that, yeah, it was really nice. And then Hairspray and
who were you in Hairspray?
In Hairspray, you will not believe who I was in Hairspray. I was Seaweed Stubbs.
You were Seaweed? Awesome.
Yeah. But we're in Puerto Rico and everything, and so they kind of change a little bit how the story goes. But yeah, it was beautiful to perform, to see for the first time the audience, to live, to dance, to be able to divide your brain in 4 different parts, to have to be convincing, but you have to keep rhythm and everything. So after that, I did recently In the Heights from Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Okay, now that's perfect. In the Heights.
That's amazing. That was amazing. I was when I was younger, I was a rapper in Spanish, not in English. So it was a challenge to do in English all the many words. You can see if I show you my the script. It's all over the place with divisions, with how would they pronounce this, and I don't know, 200 words a minute. It was so fast, and you have to keep the rhythm. So it was I think the hardest thing that I ever do as a musical, but it was perfect.
Because Lin writes craziness, right?
Yeah.
That's why we love him.
Amazing.
Lin is like he's a genius. So I have 5 seconds. Let's put a full story of 1,000 words in 5 seconds. We can do it. Of course I can do it. So yeah, but it was nice. We did it we don't do it in the theater. We create a space in the Coliseum. So it was the first time that In the Heights, you have that intimacy in a Coliseum with 5,000 people every night. And it works. We were like worried, okay, this should be the theater. But then with that amazing music, live music over there, we have this Coliseum full of flags and cheering and the fans singing with us. I was in tears at the last time, the last show. I was in tears with my heart full with all that beautiful Puerto Rican people just giving their heart and enjoying this wonderful show of Lin-Manuel.
Yeah, I can imagine that energy just would have been like so big. Like I was getting goosebumps just listening to you, because being in the theater, sitting there and watching a performance, it's always that energy is there. So I just kind of imagine that it was magnified.
Sarah is amazing, because at the last moment, then they put the lights on, and then you see the last vow, and you see the people, the faces with tears, enjoying some with the flag of Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic, and then I just like a little kid, Like,
Yeah.
I swear that I was like, a long time that when you're like, when you're a baby, I got that, and then I see my fellow cast members, and they are in tears. So it was so beautiful moment that I will never forget, and I
Wow.
appreciate that moment. Yeah.
Well, we are both big musical theater fans, and so this is just amazing to listen to those musical theater pieces. We both love that
Uh-oh.
live piece. I can totally see it. I can see why you would be like so
Uh-oh.
in
Is
the
it
moment.
Julie or me?
It's
What's
amazing.
up, Sarah? Are you struggling?
Okay, I don't know who's frozen. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I can
Okay.
hear you.
Are we all here? I don't know who's breaking up. I've lost Julie for a second.
I'm good. Are you good, Ektor?
Yeah, I'm hearing
Okay.
perfectly.
It must
Okay.
have been me then. Okay.
We're all good. We're all good. Those musical theater live performances, every time, man, amazing. And to be able to do In the Heights, oh
And in London, we did the Evita. So I was
yes,
Domingo Perón. And Julie, you cannot imagine how, because we're in the open space. So in the first beginning act, it's a fun act to play. It was daylight. But then the drama turns when the sun is getting out, and you can see
oh,
this amazing change in the environment of London, and everybody changed, to another act, the second act that is like a more deep and more obscure
mhm.
act. And then, it was magical as well. In the last show, it started to rain when Evita is singing her last song. And,
Oh, wow.
so, you can not ask for, this is a thing that TV can bring you like eternity. You will have permanently your image over there, but theater is a moment. It's the people who
Yeah.
visit that particular place, and in their memories it last forever. But that's it. So that is really special to do theater.
Bucket list London, to see theater in London too, right?
Yeah.
Let's just make our bucket list right now. You've been able to enjoy some of those amazing minutes while doing that. Gosh, so transitioning into from really that big strong musical theater background into like these romance rom-com movies, what kinds of things did you bring from theater to doing the movies?
Basically, technically, I think, as people say that, to act a little bit more with your eyes and the movement, it should be a little bit less than in theater. But basically, the honesty is the same. I try to put honesty in everything. In the musical, I just imagine a world where everybody can sing, so it can still look natural, because you can imagine a world with people singing when they have a problem. It's just so crazy. That's why at the first time I was like, I don't like musicals, but then I understand, yeah, if people go just in the environment of that, is a magical place where people sing when they
Like
have
Julie.
Yes, our household is a little bit like that.
yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, that's perfect. So yeah, it's like that. So I just bring the honesty of the story. I try to bring myself in each one of the pieces, and that's the good thing. So basically, technically a little bit less, but the honesty stay the same.
Right.
I think in Groundswell that really came through, because there were so many sit and talks that honesty, it doesn't matter where you were sitting, on the beach, on the surfboard, that honesty really came through. And I think that's one of the magical pieces of that movie.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, we are talking about people who lost family members, who lost loved ones. So I think that was so. I blessed that I have Lacey at my side.
Yeah.
Lacey is an amazing partner. She's an open heart. She is I don't know, more than 35 or 40 movies from Hallmark, but she still have the same respect and the same, like, it was the first time that she's acting, and she was open, and that's an important thing, because we're talking about things that everybody experienced before, is a loss from someone, or a professional thing, or dreams. So yeah, it was great to have a great director, a beautiful cast, and the story of Katie Lee. It was rounded and nice.
Yeah, it was a really beautiful film. When I was scrolling through again this morning, I realized how many of those really small, kind of intimate moments there were, and I felt like it was such a great contrast to have just the two of you in these little sit and talks, and then the environment around you is so big and so beautiful, and I really enjoyed that, the contrast of that. So you're sitting there on the sand and the beautiful sunset and the oceans around you, but it doesn't take away from that moment.
Oh, that's a good point of view to see that, because it's true. Is After I saw the movie, that I saw the greatness of where we are. You know, when we're hiking, I saw the drone, and it was like an amazing space that we're just tiny little people just walking through the greenery. But then
Right.
the moment, that bubble that we have, it was special. I think that's the yeah, we're connected in the whole movie. We're super connected, and I think that was the beauty of that movie.
Yeah, we are huge Lacey fans, and it's like wonderful to hear that piece. How was that to, as an actor, to walk into a film? Had you met Lacey prior to this?
No, the first time. And I will tell you something. I said, okay, Lacey Chabert is one of the main stars of Hallmark movies. She's a legend doing a lot
Yeah,
of
she's a
movies.
legend.
So, and she's more than 40 movies. So I was expecting, a diva probably would be expecting me. So I have to deal with this kind of sense. But when I met her the first time, it was so humble, so open, so the attention. So she deserved every single
Mhm.
success and every single moment of glory, because she's really, really, really a great person, a family person. When I say, Lacey, let's rehearse this scene, of course, and she was there.
Yeah.
So that's why now I understand why she's successful, because she's a
Yeah,
great person.
yeah, we
Right.
love her heart too. Like, um,
Mhm.
yep, her heart as a actress, as a woman, as a parent.
Mom,
As
yeah.
parents ourselves too. We watch what she shares on social media too. There's a question here that I think is a great one. Jasmine in the questions asked, "How did you prepare for very dramatic parts where you had to cry?" I mean, your character has really a dramatic scene in the movie. You did such a great job. You can feel the emotions, is what Jasmine says. But how'd you prepare for that?
Thank you. So, first of all, understanding the story, the background, and then I think what helps me is to just connect Ektor Rivera, the actor, connect with someone. In case of a wife that I lost, thanks God I didn't have that. You know, I don't have that experience, but I definitely have loved ones in my
Right.
family that
Mhm.
I love with all my heart, and they're not with me at my side. So, for example, when I'm like reading the letter of my wife,
Yeah.
I was basically reading the letter of my aunt, that she was
Mm,
super close to me, and that those words I kind of connect. And even now that I'm talking and getting
yeah.
emotion, because it's something that emotions are universal. You know, you have
Mhm.
beautiful in your heart. You miss somebody. You have grief for a loved member. You have professional situations. Your frustrations. So if he was frustrated as a surf instructor, I was taking my frustration, but something in my life that I just relate to, and that I think that connection makes something believable, not just the story, but just to really connect as a human, so that people can receive that emotion as well.
Hmm.
That's beautiful, and I do think so many people can relate to a lost story. That's living and dying and losing somebody. That's all part of life, and to bring that emotion, people can really go with you there in a movie like this. And I thought it was beautifully done. It was beautifully written in the story,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And so it was. It
And
was.
it's a little bit different too, Julie, don't you think? It just kind of dawned on me as you're talking that a lot of times you see in these movies, it's the female that's really going through the more emotional problem, and where Lacey's character did kind of have something she had to overcome and stand up for herself and take a chance and all that. Your character, Ben, really was the one going through the really deep emotional,
That's
I don't want
interesting.
to say issue, that's the wrong word, but that situation, and then they come together, which is, usually how it happens, but it was a fun to watch it happen a little bit differently in Groundswell.
Absolutely, that's totally true, and it's how humans are.
Yep.
You're not in life with a situation and then you find somebody who is like a perfect
Right.
being that will rescue you. No, you have another soul that have the same things, and then that's how surfing and food connect this grieving and these souls together to push themselves side by side, hand by hand. Not Lacy, not to me, or not the man, not to the both, as a couple doing this together to fly, and live and understand the cycle of life.
Mm. Yeah.
I love the kind of variation of we know when we're watching it's going to be a heartwarming story, but I like the variation where we're getting both characters' backstory a little bit more and what brings them both there. And so we love watching that play out this weekend in Groundswell.
Thank you so much.
How did you get involved in this film? Did you have to audition, or did you just get the call?
I was lucky to have the call to an offer. I probably, because of my previous movie with Sugar Plum Twist, I kind of entered the family, and I take these films like so grateful. I was so grateful because the first experience was in 15 days you have to film this, and then how fast they work to create something. People don't know, movies can take months or years and everything, and to have 15 days to create this story and to put that to the audience is something that we have to applaud, and so I was grateful for this opportunity. So I think the first time they saw me, and then they gave me another chance to express myself and express Ben in this case to this movie.
That's awesome. Did you have to audition for the Sugar Plum Twist? Is that what it was called? Sugar Plum Twist?
Sugar Plum Twist. So the Sugar Plum Twist, I received an offer as well, and I think it's because of I told the producer, "How do you know about my work?" And they told me, because we saw you in Fantasy Island.
Okay.
So it's not like it's back to back, and that's the beauty of this. In Fantasy Island, I did like an episode. I was a Cuban American, and it was a really rounded, deep character as well. So Sugar Plum Twist was looking for a Puerto Rican descendant.
Okay.
So basically, they find in that character what they needed. So that's how I started.
Perfect. I love that. Everybody has such a different story on how they ended up in this little Hallmark world family.
Right.
I know. I was expecting it was going to be the Broadway connection, or the theater connection, because there's a fair amount of Broadway stars that have worked their way through Hallmark. So this is fun to hear that it was Fantasy Island.
It was Fantasy Island, yeah. It was crazy, and so we never know. We always have to be ready, and that's why when they give me an offer, then I have this responsibility. Okay, you're trusting me to do this, and so I memorized the whole script like a month before I go to the first day. So that's how I work. If I have everything clear, then I go to have fun and ask many questions as I should ask, because I know it's a millionaire production. Still, we have 15 days, but these movies are like 2 or 3 million each one. Right. So it's a responsibility to bring that story the way that the writer wants and the director wants. So I take this with grateful heart, but a lot of responsibility to make that goal possible.
Mm-hmm.
I love that over prepared so you can relax and integrate and learn. And I love that point of view. I like to be over prepared also. So.
But I think I'm OCD, because I for example, with London, I was prepared like 2 months before. And when is my flight? Here, we have a month, and I just memorized every single line of
Yep.
everybody. And we in the Heights, I not because of the pandemic, I knew it a year before,
Yeah.
literally a year
Yeah.
before everything. And I every single day I was practicing in my car. Okay, probably this go now we have the pandemic, so probably next year they will show again. We don't have it. We didn't have it even like a date, a confirmed date, but I still was in my car singing the music, and I just love to be ready to
Yeah.
to
You like it
experience.
to be part of you so you don't have to think about it. And then you can integrate more things, right?
And
Right.
have fun with the it's so horrible to not to just try to look the the lyrics or to find the text here. You just have in your body and just have fun with the opportunity.
Love that. Love that. So do
We
you,
sorry,
you
Julie.
got another go.
No, I was going to read Sheila's question. She wants
Yeah.
to know what's next for you professionally. Do you have any projects lined up or coming out soon?
So now is the time of auditions. It's not related to acting, but for next year, I from people that follow me, I like to paint. I love to the visual art part. So besides all the professional stuff in theater and in Puerto Rico, I have some projects and the auditions for all this acting thing. I'm getting ready for an exhibition in Puerto Rico for the November or December in Puerto Rico. So when I have time, I will create some stuff and I will create some beautiful art. So I try to divide myself in different parts. So for now, that's one of my main things for next year, at least.
Okay. Well, that's amazing though to have an exhibition in Puerto Rico. Congratulations on that. That's a big deal.
Thank you.
How many pieces do you hope to have in that?
We have a different show that people still don't know, and I it's nothing confirmed, so I just can give you like a little sense of
Okay.
it. But
Okay.
it's more than an event. I did like an exhibition with 40 pieces like 3 years ago in Puerto Rico,
Okay.
but now less pieces, but more experience of an event.
Love
So
that.
yeah, but I will let you know as soon as I have everything like concrete and the venue and everything. Definitely, you will see that on my posts.
We'll be looking for that for sure.
Sounds
Definitely.
amazing, actually.
It does. Yeah. A good experience.
Uh-huh.
Do you have any kind of a dream role, whether it's in a film or, on Broadway?
No, I don't have a dream. It just sounds strange, but I never stick to a dream role. I think because I'm not like how you say apegado, like attached
Yep.
to anything. I'm not attached to my acting career. I'm not attached to nothing. I just enjoy the process. So every single experience that came to my life or character, I just embrace it, and that is the main thing that I want to do. And Ben, okay, this is a perfect character. Why? Because it's Puerto Rican. I'm telling the story of Hawaii, Puerto Ricans in Hawaii. It's telling a story that emotionally. I'm working with Lacey, and it's the second Hallmark movie, so that is amazing. So that become my perfect role, and then the next one will be the same. So I'm not getting attached to anything, but when I get the project, then I attach myself and embrace the opportunity to just bring my whole in every single one.
That's a great way to go about things.
I love that. I actually want to stop for a moment. You brought in a little bit about, we got to learn something during this movie, and they brought in a little of the history of Puerto Ricans in Hawaii. That's actually factual, right?
Yeah, I didn't know it about it. More than 50,000 Puerto Ricans are living in Hawaii, and it was because of the hurricane that we have in Puerto Rico. So it was new. When I read that, I was, wow, I didn't know that we have like a large community in Hawaii. So I started to see documentaries and to see the music, and I'm glad they put that on the movie.
So as somebody who likes to learn something new all the time, I love that they put that learning piece in there. And that is actually an important piece of that industry during that time. And that's what brought the Puerto Ricans to there, and they stayed. Many were part of that industry and bring in those cultural pieces then into Hawaii. Hawaii's got such amazing diversity of cultures because literally what the ocean has brought to them.
Yeah, exactly. and then and it was the first time for me to go into Hawaii. And when I started the movie, I started receiving from Facebook fans and pages Hawaii, Puerto Ricans in Hawaii, and then another. I was a class member that I studied with her when I was in elementary school. Hey, Ektor, I live in Hawaii. If you want to have food from Puerto Rico in Hawaii, and then oh wow, this is something nice that I totally didn't know about it. So it was great to learn that fact.
Super fun. Super
Yeah.
fun.
Totally fun. I feel like you're going to say no to this answer because it's similar to our last question, but if you could go back in time and kind of have a role in an old series or an old film, what role would you want to play?
Oh, wow. Oh, that's a hard one. That's so hard. There's so many films. Well, the films that I admire and the shows that I admire, my favorites. I don't know. I like the gangster part of the movies. I like Scarface, for example.
Oh yeah.
It's a cool,
So good.
iconic mafia movie that it was nice to perform.
The tension's always there. It's so good.
I love gangster movies and Breaking Bad, for example. Game of Thrones. I would love to have a part in that series and Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And I say, they have an accent. There's a different word, so it can be possible and everything. So yeah, those kind of shows always stick on you. Is something that you always visualize yourself. Oh, it would be so nice to be part of that kind of show. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, that would be right. Game of Thrones, because it's also just like that, so encompassing. It has its own world and the costuming and all the clashes. It would be fantastic.
It's hard. You have this, or even the heroes movie. And this because of what it's next. When you have this kind of heroes movies or Marvel or whatever, then you see how the actors go to the people, to the hospitals and everything, and they just bring smiles to the kids because they have that fantasy, the movie. Right. So it will be not just to perform, it will be fun to perform that, but what is next? The fantasy of the kids looking at their hero. I would love to be part of something like that because it's giving you meaning to your career, to your, to your role in life. So it's nice.
Go ahead, Julie.
Go ahead. I have had the opportunity to see people bring the smiles to the kids at the hospital. I work at a children's hospital. And so that, like, you really get to see that. Dang it for the pandemic for ruining a lot of that interaction, because the kids love it when their heroes come to the hospital.
Oh, that's beautiful. I can imagine you're watching those faces and it's can feel your happy. They are so innocent. They don't know. They just know the fantasy of life, the magic of life, and they don't even know where there are some. So it's something that is beautiful. I'm glad that you're doing that, Julie. In Puerto Rico, I had the chance to go as well to different places, and those smiles. And now that I have a daughter, I think that's my heart is like another heart.
Yep,
it's another heart. Now it's like full of love. Every single being that I see, I just have compassion about. I see, that person, even if they're mean or whatever, they have a mother or a father. So they're special for somebody. They're special. So if they're special for their parents, it should be special for me because I'm a parent. So it's like a psychological stuff that after I have got my daughter, is something nice. It's something beautiful to do.
How old is your daughter?
Almost 2 years old.
Oh,
in December.
So cute. Love those toddler years. They're so dang cute. Those smiles, they'll just get you every time.
Yep.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I'm out of all the trouble.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's wonderful trouble, though. Toddler trouble is wonderful trouble. I love it.
My baby turns 5 soon, and I'm like, he's just starting to look more like a little boy, and I'm like, no.
Now you miss the years of the 2 or 3 years old. I know that's why I'm trying to enjoy every single aspect of my daughter, every single moment. It's hard and it's intense, but it's I know that time will fly.
Yeah. So as a parent, and so many people who will watch this are parents also, how do you balance that work and family piece?
For now, I in my work now I'm not accepting or considering roles, for example, on New York or Broadway or theater, because as you know, theater can
Right.
bring you out your or in your house like for a year or
Yeah.
more than a year. So now I had a pause in that particular phase in my life. So
Mhm.
I tell my agent, we're not considering more Broadway shows or more, because I want to spend time with my daughter and, at this particular time. But then my focus now is in TV and film because
Mhm.
of that, because it's a shorter amount of time, and then it is done, and then I can move on and have that balance for now.
Right.
Now when she's grow up, when she gets a little bit older, then I will start to do more stuff that brings me out of home more than a 6 or a year.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a process. I think, everyone has to balance in their own way. And, it's interesting to see because the schedules are unique, and certainly those Broadway schedules they're tough.
They're
They're,
tough, and it's hard because you're living, and when you're living at this time of age, your daughter or your children can learn a word or can learn
Mhm.
something that you're missing if you're even just 1 week out.
Right.
So that's the hardest part of this. Obviously, we have to work, but it's hard. It's not easy. I have, like, my wife is really a really great mother, so
Mhm.
that can have that balance as well. We have people, my parents and her parents, her mom, from Puerto Rico. We fly them to take care when I'm working, because my wife is working as well in a network.
Mhm.
So yeah, we're trying to do that, and it's hard because we live in Puerto Rico, and it's like a 11-hour travel to go to Los Angeles, and
Mhm.
then I have another gig for a month. Okay, mom, can you come? And so they love it because they want to share time with my daughter. But for me, it's hard because I'm missing some moments that I know that it will never repeat.
Right.
Well,
No,
we
we
love hearing how you're balancing that. Family. That's wonderful.
Thank you.
definitely. Hey, should we play our game now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So we have a game called I don't know, favorites. We haven't named it yet. So let's ask you and you tell us what your favorite might be. So how about we start with your favorite rom-com?
Rom-com, The Notebook.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah. Oh, classic.
classic
Classic.
one for sure.
Um, Favorite comfort TV show. What TV show do you just turn on?
Right now, I'm watching The Sandman.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one that
Nice.
It's surprising, like that, because it's a different genre. But I'm really right now is that when everybody's sleeping. Okay, let's see like one chapter.
Absolutely.
Love that.
How about your favorite movie?
Too many, too many. Depending of the genre.
Mhm.
One of your favorites.
Wow, I loved. One of my favorites actually is the Notebook, actually,
Yeah. Wow.
and it's so hard. It's so hard to think
I
about a
know.
movie. It's so hard to think about. I will think about that better, because then I will miss. I don't know. Yeah, it's
That's
hard.
okay. We can. The Notebook can cover both. It's that good.
It
Yeah.
is that good. Let's be honest, right?
Good.
Okay. So, favorite
The
food.
Master. I love The Master with
Ooh.
Joaquin Phoenix. Joker. I love.
Oh, yeah.
Everything with Joaquin Phoenix do.
Yeah.
I enjoy his performance
Yeah.
so much.
Right.
And in the gangster part, I love, like I say, Scarface, The
Yeah.
Godfather.
The
Yeah.
Godfather. Yeah.
Marlon Brando
Yes.
acting so well and keeping that balance in family and as a gangster, it was a beautiful thing to watch. So depending on the genre, I have different
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah. No, there's some great classics there. All right. Favorite food, healthy and guilty pleasure.
Guilty pleasure, pizza.
Yeah.
And favorite food, I think I like the berenjena. I don't know what, like a lasagna of berenjena. I don't know
Yep.
what's
Yep.
that in English. You mean, is
Uh-huh.
that iconic purple fruit with
Eggplant.
this eggplant? Yeah,
Yep.
There you-
Yep.
yeah. I kind of like that when they make it in the lasagna type. It's not so healthy
Yeah.
because you still have cheese, but
Cheese. Yep. Yep.
Yes.
how
Yep,
about that?
but still delicious.
It is.
Delicious.
Since we're on food, what about your favorite midnight snack? Like, what are you pulling out when everybody's sleeping and you're watching The Sandman?
Popcorn
Yeah.
all the time.
Oh, love that. Love that. Do you have like a favorite hobby or activity? Which painting probably could have fallen into, but that's not a hobby, that's a profession. So just a hobby or an activity that you like to do.
I love to work in the garden.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think it's the age now because I like, oh, let's see my garden. Oh, that's flower. Let's cut over there. Let's have the shape. And so I'm obsessed. Every night, every morning, I drink my coffee. Okay, that leaf is a little bit. And then I cut it.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
So what do you have in your garden?
Yeah.
I have trees. I plant the flowers, and then we are in California, so it's hard. So I have succulentas. You know, the plants from
Yep.
here.
Mhm.
It is
Yep.
dry, so I try to create little environments in my garden. Roses in certain parts, and
Roses. That's
yeah,
hard. Yeah.
so
He's,
I like it.
I
And
love it.
mine is
We both
terrible.
talk about gardening. So
Yeah,
yeah. Oh yeah. I'll go down
it's,
to get some tomatoes and some basil
Yeah.
from my garden today.
I would
So
say I love the
it's
idea of
amazing.
gardening, but I'm not really that good of a gardener. Like, I want to be the lady that's picking her own vegetables and drying her own, or the herbs and stuff. But I got kids. I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
So
I find the time in the morning, but I need to do what Julie do. You know, the to have the garden and to have my fruits, my own fruits, my
yeah.
lemons, and everything. You
Yeah.
know, so I need like a certain space to do that because it's the
I
safest way
yeah.
to eat as well.
Yeah, I did a couple of raised bed gardens that are smaller, so I can like kind of contain where my stuff is and make sure I'm adding good soil and that kind of stuff. So I really like when we changed to raised bed gardens for that. So that's where
Us
my
too.
tomato plants and my basil and rosemary and sage and
Oh
we have some
wow!
cucumbers and there's some pumpkins down there right now, some mini
I'm
pumpkins.
so proud.
You have a big and this
Not that big, but
satisfactory to. Okay, I'm eating something that I create with my hand.
Yeah.
That I'm growing with. That's beautiful.
And the kids love it too, right? Like,
yeah. Oh,
get them
we
to go out and, like, my little guy, my 4-year-old, he'll go out and pick the tomatoes and eat them. Yeah, it's fun.
Oh,
I
that's fun.
purposely let my kids pick things to plant every year.
Yeah.
And we did weird things just for fun, like, purple peppers because they're purple one year and whatever, big giant pumpkins one year, tiny pumpkins one year, like whatever they want to plant, right?
What age are your kids, Julie?
Well, mine are old now, but we started when they were little, like when they were toddlers, and they're in their 20s now. So
You have two,
I have 3. She's
We're
got
both
3 also.
Yeah.
So
and you have 3 also.
I do too. Yeah. Yep. I have a 12-year-old, 9.5-year-old, and almost 5-year-old.
Wow, and I'm saying, wow, but one I have just one, and it's like a lot. So,
Well, we're jealous that you only have one. No, I'm kidding.
well, 3 and 3.5 years, we had to have things to do. We needed to be
that's
busy.
good.
But even like by the time my kids were in middle school, I mean, my daughter would be like getting noodles going and she would go down to the gardens, pick herself tomatoes and basil. And, she's making her own pasta, throwing fresh stuff in. And so, I mean, I've always loved that piece to be able to literally go down to the garden and pull out what they want. So,
That's perfect.
and then always grow something weird. We always grew something weird.
Yes.
Yes.
It's more fun.
It is
should be
fun.
a little bit of a science
We
activity.
didn't do anything too weird, but we did try pumpkins, but they didn't make it.
I got little tiny ones right now. They're like, but they already turned orange, so that's a little questionable to me because it's only orange.
Yeah, you do. So good.
Well,
They might
there was that tangent. What's next?
Ooh, vacation. Where's the favorite place you've ever been to vacation on?
I love Venezia.
Oh.
Beautiful place. And Scotland, it was so rich in architecture and the story behind that. You can feel it in the streets.
Castles.
Yeah.
Castles, the texture of the walls, and you have that story over there, then you can get in imagination. Hundreds years ago, we have people in horses and everything, and it's fantastic.
Are you an Outlander watcher?
No, my wife is. And I was, I saw the scenery. It's brutal. It's incredible.
That'd be amazing. Great answer.
Yeah, I can't get past season 2 or 3.
Okay, that's okay.
I tried.
All right, shall we finish up one more? Do you have a favorite band or singer?
Favorite singer? I love it's a group named the Fania All Stars, and it's basically one of the legends of salsa reunited in the I don't know 50 years ago or more. And it have Ektor Rivera, a lot of Celia Cruz, Fania All Stars. People can Google and they will find a list of the best salsa singers in that moment from Puerto Rico, Cuba, and Dominican Republic. I think that's my favorite in general. But I love music all the time. I love Mark Anthony. I like. I think I will stick with that.
Okay, no, that's a great answer because those are just like some classics. That's a classic. Perfect.
One of them you said, I think my father-in-law used to listen to, and I can't think of who it is now, but the name sounded familiar. I think we have the record.
The Ektor Rivera?
I think so.
Probably. He's that voice was amazing, and he brings like a lot of. I like the Miami Sound Machine as well because I was part of the story doing it on Broadway, but then I understand the story behind it, the fusion. Now with the mind that I know what the radio was doing, I hear that music of Miami Sound Machine, and that's a kind of accomplishment of open the doors of Latinos to the States. It was and to the world, and you can see the fusion, the real fusion of music, and that is something that I really enjoy. And apart of that, I think that is amazing.
Part of the soundtrack of my youth, Miami Sound Machine, for sure. Right on the radio when we used to have to turn the radio on to hear anything. Right, so.
And wait for it. Okay, let's see. This is the song. Let's record it.
Let's record. I was the queen of that one.
And then I hope the guy that just didn't talk at the end. Hey, this is the music of Miami Sound Machine. No, you ruined it. I want the song.
You took it. My brother made the best mixtapes. He had the double tape thing. It was spectacular.
I'm part of that generation, so I understand.
Yeah, same.
So, gosh, yes. Oh, and Miami Sound Machine. That always so good. So good. Okay, well, should we finish up? What was your favorite scene in Groundswell of the whole movie that you did?
I think when Lacey, the Emma, finally for herself are taking the wave. I think the music, everything was perfect, and I get emotional because finally she gets the heart to do it by herself. And then when she accomplished that, that's basically the meaning of the whole movie. How so I think that's one of my favorite scenes.
Love that.
It was a good one.
Literally brings the word groundswell for everything, the surfing and life. So love that.
In the drama thing, in the drama part, I like what I have with my brother. The conversation that he realized that okay, you're here present, but I don't have my big brother now. After that situation, you disappear. That transformed me and understand. My God, what happened to me, and that is an important scene to play and to watch. With the continuity of what it was previously, is another scene that I really enjoy how it ends.
Love that sibling relationship that played out in the movie. We often don't get, it's like this, the sidekick, we'll call it the sidekick character, but in this place it was deeper because it was a sibling relationship.
Yeah, Omar Bustamante did the character really well.
Yeah, it was beautiful, beautiful.
It was a fun story. Well, thank you for being here with us. We enjoyed meeting you, and I think we'll probably see a lot more of you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much for the invitation, and I will follow your podcast and everything. Thanks for being. I love to be part of this. Take
Awesome.
care.
Stay
Well-
here with us. Catherine will take us out, and we'll say goodbye to everyone.
Hi, everybody.